Hello YouTube and welcome to an Assetto Corsa extra video. Well, I don't know whether you can call it an extra video because we didn't actually have a video this week, on Sunday that is. So I've decided to bring this one to, one, explain why we didn't have a video this week, and two, I found that there is something that was probably worth talking about. So let me just get the car rolling out here. So I've got the McLaren MP4-13 and I'm taking it out at Silverstone. Here we go. Okay, so the reason we didn't have the video this week is we wanted to review a car. And we did do the review of the car. We actually did the video, had it all set, had it all rendered, and we were about to upload it on this Saturday night, ready for Sunday release as we normally do. And it turned out the car was updated on Saturday night, so that video became quite useless. So because of that we haven't released the video, but the review for that car will be coming out this following Sunday. So this coming Sunday we will have the review of that car out. I'm not going to tell you which car it is, but for those of you who do watch the forums and watch on the different sites, you'll probably know exactly which car it is now that I've told you that it was updated. Now, what am I going to do in this video? Now, the last time I took and made an Assetto Corsa extra video, I was talking, well, I had this car and I was talking about getting a good drive and understanding how to drive this McLaren MP4-13. This time, I'm going to be talking about something different. I'm going to be talking about fitness. If people are going to think, why would I be talking about fitness in Assetto Corsa? What's the relevance? Well, I've been driving now for 2 hours straight, doing Colin McRae, God, I keep calling it Colin McRae, doing dirt rally videos and doing Assetto Corsa videos, including the review which I've already made and have already got ready to go. Now that I'm driving this car, I'm going to show and I'm going to talk about what the effect of mental fatigue and even some amount of physical fatigue has on your driving ability, even in a simulator, or on your gaming ability, your reactions, your process into making correct decisions or making decisions you maybe normally wouldn't make. So I'm going to be talking about that now. First of all, it's not that difficult to drive a car for an extended period of time, a normal car. You know, you can drive it for a few hours. They say that you should take a break every now and then. You should be taking a break for 20 minutes or something, so that you can refresh yourself from the monotony of driving. That's okay. That's a normal car. We're talking, you know, your Fords and your Hondas and your normal road cars, your Civics, your Accords, your Toyotas, your Lexus, stuff like that. You can drive them for extended periods of time. Driving a race car, however, is very different. Now, you're probably thinking, well, hold on, this isn't real life. This is just a game, or this is just a simulator. How is it any different? In fact, it should be far easier to be able to drive a race car. And you're right, in many ways, it is easier because you don't have a strong physical sensation. You don't have that, for example, in this car, coming down here, coming down the hanger straight. I'm going to brake at the end of this hanger straight and we're going to feel, or if I was in the car, here I would be feeling probably about 3.5 G, 4 G of braking ability, and I would be being pushed forward in my seat with all that extra force. I don't have that feeling, which means that, in a sense, that makes it much easier to drive. However, mentally, it's almost as demanding as the real car. And there is some physical demand on it. There's some physical demand, but mentally, it's almost as demanding as the real car. It's got the physics, and okay, it may not be completely accurate to the real car, but that doesn't make it any less harder to drive. In fact, sometimes, in some cases, with some of the mods, it makes it harder to drive. And you have to focus a little bit more, and as I go off again there. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video for some odd reason. I think it came about, I was thinking about this last night, about what to talk about in the extra video. And then after driving today, in Colin McRae. Oh God, I'm just gonna stick with calling it Colin McRae, and then with Assetto Corsa, and then talking over while I'm driving, talking over it all. Let's get that in a second. It's very. I should have seen that one coming. Hey, look, here's the entrance for the old pits. Get it over and right. Here we go. So talking over it all is very difficult. I think I found the hardest was Colin McRae Dirt Rally. It was very, very difficult to drive, especially whilst I was talking to you guys. So I'm recording, I'm driving. I don't have the wheel weight set down or anything to make it hard to drive. I like a bit of a physical challenge on it. So I had the wheel weight up, and I have got the settings in one of the episodes. I have mentioned all the settings, I think episode 2, and I had that up, so that was giving me a bit of a physical sensation, so I did have to work at it. I then had to focus on driving the car. As well as that, we have to then focus on listening to the co-driver and talking to you guys at the same time. Now that's a lot for a brain to do in one thing. There's a reason why Formula 1 drivers say, don't talk to me while I'm in a corner. It's very difficult to focus on driving and then have to focus on what someone's saying to you. Add that to the fact that then you have to talk to someone else at the same time about something different, and it makes it very, very difficult to drive, and that's where fitness comes in. Predominantly mental fitness. Now, mental fitness is, most of the time you can talk about it in terms of endurance. How long can you keep your mental state up without your judgment being affected, or not being affected much? How long does it take before your brain gets tired, before your head starts hurting? And there are a number of things that you can do to, make sure that your brain is mentally fit, and that includes some of the tests that Formula 1 drivers do, some of the, the exercises that they do, with reaction tests and all that kind of stuff. All that builds up mental fitness. However, there are things that you can do that are far, far less sort of sporty, in a sense, that will also build up your mental fitness. One of them is drinking water. When you're drinking water, it's very, very easy to use the water to hydrate your brain, and when your brain's hydrated, it's going to remain active for longer. Therefore, your brain's going to be mentally more fit on that day. Another thing is getting yourself into the right mindset. You need to focus on what you're going to be doing. If you can get yourself focusing on things and not having to exercise your brain too hard before or after that activity, you'll end up getting a brain that's more fit on the day or during the duration of what you need to do. And even things as simple as breathing correctly, having, understanding how breathing affects, how much air is getting to your brain, how much air is getting to the rest of your body, what's the oxygen content in your body getting, and what that's doing to affect your judgment. If you don't have oxygen getting to your brain, then you're not going to have very good reactions, and that comes down to make sure you breathe right. Now, obviously, in a simulator, it's not that difficult to get your breathing right, because you don't have that physical strain put on your body, apart from maybe on your arms and maybe your legs, depending on what kind of setup you've got. In a real car, obviously, it's much, much harder, because you're going to have G-forces pulling at you, and you're going to have a lot of other forces and a lot of other distractions. For example, if I crash this car, I'm going to get seriously hurt, or there's going to be hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of damage, this, that and the other. In a race, there's the additional pressure of having to focus on where everyone else is on the track, or where everyone else is in relation to you, where you need to be going, what your strategy is, all that kind of stuff. All these things build up, and they put pressure on your mind and on your brain. And if it comes to a stage where your brain can't handle it anymore, you're going to start slipping up and making mistakes. And that happens, and it happens to me. When I'm doing videos like this, it does happen to me. I slip up, and I miss shifts. In Dirt Rally, I miss shift, or in something like this, I'll spin off because I've lost that concentration. or whatever it is. Maybe I'm just not mentally fit enough to react fast enough to something when it happens, or I'm not mentally fit enough to react to it a number of times. I may be able to catch it the first time, second, third time, fourth time, forget it, it's gone. I won't be able to do it because I've already used up all that mental capacity. And to be a fast simulator driver, and to be a fast driver in real life, you need to be mentally fit as well as obviously physically fit. Physically fit doesn't matter as much in here, but if you're going to be doing 4-hour endurance races, you do want to make sure that you're capable, your arms are capable of being able to turn a car over and over and over again. Your legs are capable of pushing down on a brake pedal hard and letting up and then holding it in a specific place. All that kind of stuff you need to be aware of, but more importantly, mentally fit. And that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video, and what the difference is and how it causes trouble, and what's the difference between the different different styles of driving in simulators. For me, I feel that being mentally fit is the only way you're going to get fast at driving. You may be naturally a fast driver. I'd like to think that I'm a decently fast driver. But if I am tired on the day, or if I have been driving for a long time previously, then I'm not going to have that ability to drive a car fast, and I'm going to lose out. And it's very important not to lose out if you want to play online racing. If you're in clubs and leagues and things like that, you don't want to lose out. You want to make sure you have the best chance available. So it's very important to try and keep yourself mentally fit, to be drinking the water, to be breathing correctly, to be even doing exercises like, I know that for some people, things like yoga helps. Doing stretching exercises, breathing exercises, all that kind of thing helps focus your mind. And you can see here that I am actually struggling to talk and drive this at the same time, because now 2 hours in, I am tired. I am actually tired, and I am going to be making a lot of mistakes. Plus, I've chose this car on purpose because this is a difficult car. If I was driving a Fiat 500, the Fiat 500 Abarth, I don't think I'd be having this difficulty in driving and talking at the same time. But I chose this car to highlight that point, that you have to have that amount of fitness. And I keep mentioning, I keep saying, oh, you have to have fitness, and there are many different ways to keep fit. Like I said, breathing, water, and mentally fit is different to physically fit. Physically fit, going out for a jog, that's physically fit. Making sure that you can jog a 10-mile jog, something like that. If you can do that, you've got very good or decent physical fitness. If you can do, sprint racing, there's a different type of fitness for that. If you want to be able to win in 100-meter sprints, you're going to have to be physically fit in a different way. But if you want to be mentally fit, it's pretty much the same all around. You want to be able to focus for an extended period of time. And to do that, you have to keep your body hydrated, and that includes your mind. So by keeping your body hydrated, you keep your mind hydrated. You have to be able to breathe properly. You can't just, breathe through, let's say, just constantly breathing through your nose, very shallow breaths. That's not going to help your mental fitness. You're not going to have enough oxygen getting to your brain. Your brain's going to not be responding as you want it to respond. And you need to practice. You need to practice. You can't just sit around and say, well, okay, my brain will eventually get mentally fit. Every time I race, it's going to get a little bit fitter. That is true. It is going to get a little bit fitter every time. But there comes a point where racing is not going to make it any fitter. You need to do things that are going to make your brain fitter by making your brain work in many different ways. Either some people do it by playing different games. I personally like playing games that make me think, strategy style games. Age of Empires, I used to play a lot of Age of Empires. I haven't played that in a while. I used to like that because I used to have to make quick decisions on the fly. Crank the AI up to hard, make quick decisions on the fly, and it brings in a whole new dimension because you have to think fast and do many things at once. You need to be controlling resources, villagers, whatnot. Other people prefer to play games such as FIFA, for example. A lot of people play FIFA. Some people play it just for the heck of playing it, you know, or might as well play and beat everyone. Other people actually play it so that they want to practice and hone their reactions, know when to do a skill, how to do a skill, make sure that their body is ready, their mind is ready to be able to do these specific skills in whichever order that they want them to do. Planning 4 or 5 moves ahead, planning where's a player going to be in what time, that kind of stuff. Other people, they read books. Other people read books, and they prefer to read books and say, okay, I'm reading such and such a book, but I'm not reading it just because of the fact that the book's there. I'm going to try and guess what's going to happen later on in the book by analysing what I've got right now. That allows you to build up the creative part of your brain. And all these parts of your brain will then work together when you need them most. And they may work together in ways you don't realise. You're like, well, what's the creative part of the brain got to do with racing? You know, racing, you need a very technical brain. You need to be able to understand when to brake and when not to brake, when to accelerate, when to hold the throttle at specific positions. That's racing. That's very technical. Well, what about if you're racing, you're in a race and you want to overtake someone and the normal overtaking moves aren't working? You're going to have to become very creative. You're going to have to think, okay, what is a possible way to trick him into moving into such a position that I can overtake him? But you need to trick him into doing it, because if he understands what you're doing, he's not going to move, or she is not going to move. Simple fact is, you need to get creative, and that's part of the brain that you need to build up as well. So these are all different ways to sort of build up the fitness. And I know I've gone on for a little bit, and I've just sort of talking completely off the top of my head here. So I think I'll let you guys enjoy just another couple of laps around Silverstone where I won't be talking. Let's see if my lap times or my lap improves in any which way. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa. I promise I won't be going on about fitness too much. And leave a comment in our comments box below, letting me know how maybe you prepare when you're racing in simulators, or if you race in real life, how do you prepare for racing in real life, or whatever activities you do to mentally prepare your brain. I'll see you next time. So there we go. You can see now from here, as I just add this little extra on the end, the moment I stopped talking, the very next lap was 2 seconds faster than the lap prior to that. And you can see that, okay, I was going down in time, but I didn't manage to get anywhere below 1 minute 48.7. So you can see that there. But there, I managed to straight away get a 1 minute 46.6 just because I didn't talk. And then, of course, I did mess up on the previous lap, Sector 1. Had I not messed the first 2 sectors up, I did make a bit of mistakes. Had I not messed them up, I would have probably got another 146.5. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.